Hey man, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Dark, man, back at it on Will's Mind. Today we got the child of drama, aka Samad, in the building, man.
What's the word? What's the word?
How you feeling, man?
Shit, I'm feeling good right now. I just got a lot of shit coming. I couldn't really tell you what's coming, but something big, something good.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. We really hyped and happy to have you on there. A couple days ago, like we seen on your story, well, I seen on your story, you said like you was done doing feature.
Yeah, almost. It's getting about that time where prices finna go up. Like I said, I can't really like tell y'all the reason why. Like I don't think I want. I don't think I'm supposed to go public with a lot of this information type shit. You feel me? But it's getting around that time to where shit is getting lit. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah,
The right people is starting to notice, and this shit is about to be taken to the next level here shortly. So I'm just trying to give everybody the opportunity to work and stuff before I get like not inaccessible, but before the prices go up. Like you feel me? To where I gotta charge this much. You feel me?
yeah, yeah. I feel you. And like you said, like the right people noticing. But beside that, what is something that you might have seen that tell you that okay, shit, like I'm probably next up?
Well, I kind of just knew for a cool minute, cause just with the state of the underground and what the underground is right now, I kind of been around for a long time, and I got to watch people make mistakes, and I got to make a lot of good relationships with people that's important already, especially like when it comes to producers and maybe even other artists for real to the eyes of the public. But really, just locking in with the right people just let me know that I'm next up. It's the same people that's locked in with the bigger artists right now. You feel me?
And I see that you don't really post a lot. You don't really show your everyday life. I mean, a lot of artists now right now they on that shit. I understand, but do you feel like there's way more shit happening behind the scene that people don't see? That like people might assume that you might be like super underrated, but there might be like bigger people noticing you, but they don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Like, yeah, I don't really like to. I'm a private person just in general. I'm not doing it for a look or to look cool. Apart from these artists, I actually kind of got like a real life. Like, it's not a front type shit. I be having shit to do. You feel me? To where I just can't be on Instagram
Hmm.
24/7 and shit. Then I kind of just get on there and promote what I gotta promote and try my hardest to do that while still being able to tend to my actual real life. You feel me? So it's not a look thing. I'm not trying to be on a certain type of time. I wish I could post more. You feel me? Some things I like to keep more private. Some things I think need to be private,
Hmm.
and I feel like it's uncomfortable just putting other motherfuckers on the camera. You feel me? What if they ain't want to be recorded? Like I could show you who I be with and what the fuck I got going on, but how cool is that for real? Like I wouldn't want nobody just recording me. Like oh I'm with this person. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah,
Type shit. You feel me? So
yeah.
it's like it's
Yeah, totally agree with you, man. I used to like hate that when you used to go out somewhere and like your friends like start putting out the camera. That shit used to get me so mad.
yeah, I really live in the moment. You feel me? I really live in the moment, and I sometimes I be like, damn, I should have recorded. I should have like took a picture, but I be so deep into it and just trying to live my life because I'm just enjoying the journey right now. I feel like I know what's promised for me, so I'm just enjoying all of that instead of just being too posting everything. It's not about other people seeing. I just want to take this shit completely in and enjoy it before it get that time where motherfuckers is gonna start coming around me and pull their phone out, look who I'm with. You feel me? And damn near nothing is private anymore. You feel me? So I'm trying to enjoy my privacy. That's about it.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. So yeah, man. Before we get into all that, man, can you explain to people quickly make you like the child of drama?
Uh, what make me personally the child of drama is just the sequence of events I went through in my life. You feel me? That's something that everybody can relate to, but I relate myself to drama because it's something that's gonna be there regardless. every time something good or bad happen, it's always gonna be some drama in it. Nothing is black or white. Everything is gray. It's always politics behind something. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I'm the child of that. You feel me? The product of that type of shit. The product of everything, even through the storm. You feel me? I'm still gonna be me regardless.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically a gist of what it means. You feel me? Whether I'm gonna do something bad or good, I'm still me. So I'm the child, the product of it, even after. You feel me?
Yeah. Would you say
Cause
it's like a movement?
uh yeah, I say it's like a movie. It might be just some children, a drama, walking around this motherfucker. And sometimes I could see it as a movement, but right now that just my I'm trying to think of the right words. That's how I would like to express my art as you feel me at this very moment, because just how I think about music and think about my music, I think it's a journey type shit. You feel me? So I want my audience to grow with me type shit. And
Yeah.
it's like you go through drama, you grow through that, for things happening. If your life just stagnant and there's nothing bad going on, but there's nothing good going on, you don't grow. You stay stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So it's just all about growth. That's one of the main things, one of the main concepts behind it. And it was just a nickname my homie gave me because he know what I be going through. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a movement. I
Yeah.
had a quote from I forgot who it is, but it was a quote and it was saying like if life was a movie, it would be a drama. Like hence the title of my mixtape, Life is a Drama.
Mm-hmm. What? Can you repeat the quote?
If life was a movie, it would be a drama.
Yeah.
You want me to expand on that?
I mean, you can go explain on that, but do you feel like it only apply to you or like to everyone, life in general?
I feel like that shit just really connected with me and it made me want to stick to it rather than leave it behind. Cause I feel like a one common thing with rappers is they went by a lot of different names before and
Mm-hmm.
then they stick with the name they gain the fame with. But I've been child of drama for I don't know how fucking long. And that shit, I was child of drama before I heard the quote. But when I heard the quote, it really made the name resonate with me and I figured out what it was through that. And it made me want to just showcase that through my art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I could talk about a million things and a million different meanings behind it all day, but I don't want to hold you. You feel me? It's a lot. That name got a lot of weight.
Yeah. And do you feel like everything in life is gonna like a byproduct of drama because everything we do is a reaction to a bad thing? Everything that we do is like to not have a bad thing, aka drama, happen in our life. Like let's say we go to
Yeah,
work every day because we don't want to be like homeless type shit.
yeah. Drama is not a bad thing. It's growth. Like say, like for example, you take an artist and he really want to rap, but he need a job. But instead of getting a job, he put both his feet in the field and he say he gonna do this rap shit no matter what, and he gonna really really work hard at it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel me? The nigga not working, he not getting no money, and he end up homeless. But then he get discovered, he get signed to $1 million deal, something magical like that happened. That's a product of drama. If he wasn't homeless, he wouldn't have kept. You feel me? It's like the drama could take you two different ways. It could take you on a path to destruction if you let it, or it could take you on a path to greatness. It's all about how you think about it.
Yeah, because it motivates not stay in the bad situation.
Yeah, it motivates you to just look past it and really just get past it. You don't want to let any little inconvenience in your life just get in the way of whatever you got going on. You got to be a product of it and you got to make yourself a testimony. You survived it. You feel me? You should be grateful. I didn't really do a lot of hard shit in my life, and that's why it just resonate with me. And I know that shit can resonate with anybody, no matter what your challenges is.
Mm-hmm.
It has something to do with some drama for sure.
Real shit. So to kind of get like a background, can you take us back to like the whole to young Samad, like how did you grow up? Like, where did you grow up? How was that like for you?
When I was growing up, I wouldn't say I had a hard life. I had seen a lot, but just coming from where I come from, a lot of the kids we just see it as normal, and we don't realize how fucked up shit be until we grow up. You feel me? So when I was living in my childhood, I wasn't thinking about nothing bad. I wasn't thinking about if this is good or bad, how it's affecting me. I was just living like all little kids do. But looking back, I've been through a lot of shit that led me to here, and I'm just eternally grateful for it. I was a I was cool in school. Like I never really had no problem for real in school. I had behavioral problems, but not really though. You feel me? It wasn't like bad things. I wasn't being bad. And it's like it was just phases. Sometimes I was being bad. Like I was trying to find my way. I was trying to figure out who I was, type shit, like every little kid is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to middle school. I started going to school in LA, and I'm from Compton, so it's like, damn, this is a whole new territory. Even though it's all so close,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to school with people that's all from LA. They all know each other. I ain't know nobody, so I had to. It's a whole new world for me, and I had to just navigate through that shit. And then I got to high school, and shit was pretty straight. I ain't really ever had no problems. Just the same problems as any other kid from LA. You gotta worry about all type of shit. Just I always been just to myself and in my head,
Mm-hmm.
kind of narcissistic. I ain't gonna lie, but that's everybody. Narcissism is in everybody.
Yeah.
But I really was trying to. I was living in my head for so long, and I wanted to know a lot of things. I just wanted knowledge about what I wanted to know, not just general knowledge. Like I wasn't fucking with school. I
Mm-hmm.
was fucking with knowing whatever I wanted to know. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? So that's why school, I wasn't the greatest student, but it was times in my life where I was like, nigga, I could do this schoolwork. God proved it. I done made honor roll a couple times. Like I could be a good student, but this is not what I want for my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was hard, but it was easy at the same time. I went through all of this shit that any motherfucker from LA go through. You
Yeah.
feel me? You lose people, you get new friends, you lose them, you lose people to the streets, you lose people to just fake shit. Shit everybody go through. But
Mm-hmm.
that shit is what builds your character. I never looked at it as a bad thing.
Yeah. So, and you was talking about you in school or just the way your mind worked. You could pass school. You could give your all and have honor rolls and all that, but you felt
Yeah.
like your mind was way too advanced. But what made you like search for more knowledge outside of what the school or like the system tried to taught you?
Just passion, whatever I had a passion for, I really dive deep into it and look into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a passion for generally knowing shit, but I had the discipline to sit down and learn it because I knew it would be important. And I know how it look if you don't know certain things type shit. It's some shit you just gotta know. And once I got past that point, I wasn't really tripping off school. And I think a lot of the mindset a lot of kids have, and the mindset I share with a lot of people, is we were just trying to survive. You feel me? That's the reality for a lot of black kids, is that we not worried about school. We not worried about passing with an A. We worry about if we gonna get home safe. You feel me? How we finna make it home? What the fuck is we finna eat? Like just surviving
Mm-hmm.
type of shit. And I'm just trying to speak for everybody. I know I had times in my life where I was wondering, damn, what am I gonna do when I get home? Like, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna, you feel me? Some kids gotta worry about how they gonna make it home. You feel me? Is they gonna make it home safe tonight? And that shit just wasn't cool to me because I felt like nobody cared, especially when it comes to staff and shit. Like obviously me and my friends, we cared about each other, and that was cool to have for points in my life. But I just felt like nobody here cared. They just showing up for their check. You feel me? Nobody here got a passion for teaching. And the ones that did, I really sat down and listened to them because I want to fulfill their dream too. I want to learn from them because they want to really teach. Some
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers was just showing up for a check.
Yeah. And I feel like as a kid you could see that shit.
Yeah, you could really see it as a kid. As a kid, you really know the truth.
First of all, did you grow up around like older people? that taught you this, or you really like at a young age really wanted to like develop your mind and look for more knowledge about shit that you was passionate about?
At a young age, I was by myself more often than not. I didn't grow up around a lot of older people, but when I did get friends and like get actual friends, like not just people I'm seeing at school, they all older than me. I never had like younger friends like that, like I did, but I damn near kept a distance type of shit. Not because I'm not trying to say like it's a difference between me and them, but I just gravitated more towards people I could learn from,
Mm-hmm.
whether that come to anything, like just anything. If I knew I could learn something from you, I wanted to be around you. And
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, I couldn't learn nothing from people that was my age or around my age.
And actually, you talk about like getting knowledge about your passion, but back then, I guess right now your passion, I mean, you probably got multiple, but right now it's mainly music. But back then, what was your passion?
It always been music, but I had my parents in my ear telling me, nah, that's just your hobby. You don't know if you're gonna be doing that in some years. I played baseball for a long time. I played baseball and I was real good. Like I played that perfect game and shit. I played at a bunch of showcases when I got older. I went to a bunch of college showcases and shit. But I just felt out of place there. I felt like it was nobody there that could understand me in terms of not to be like that, but it wasn't a lot of black people. And if it was, they don't come from what I come from, and they wasn't that relatable. And I found myself not loving them, and I found them not loving me type shit because we just can't understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to Westchester, which was the high school I went to, I played baseball all 4 years and I really loved it because a lot of them kids, I understood them and I loved them and I cared about them because we can relate on a certain level. But when I was playing that shit, I couldn't relate to a lot of people.
And you feel like the fact that you couldn't relate because you came from a certain environment or a certain lifestyle or surrounding and background, do you feel like that should block you from a lot of shit in life? Because I know for a fact you're not the only one in this situation, but sometimes you're around an environment where nobody around can relate, but you need to be there because this is where you need to be. But the fact that you can relate to the surrounding always make it like more difficult and shit.
Yeah, it's like when I needed people, them wasn't the people I could turn to. Them not people I could have a conversation about some real shit about. So it was like kind of pointless for me because all they care about is if I'm making my plays, is if I get a hit, if I'm playing good, then they care. But when shit hit the fan, they not there. They not fucking with you. That was an aspect that turned me off of the sport, which is, I mean, that's damn near anywhere, even if it's your peoples and they do care about you. When you're not doing good, they gonna be like, oh, well, this nigga not really performing well. They're not gonna really have your back. But it's a little bit more understanding there when they come from what you come from and y'all relate on certain levels and y'all really got a brotherhood and it's
Mm-hmm.
not fake, superficial. It's like I really love these people, really know me, who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give my heart out on the field. But my passion always been music and I always been looking into it. I just didn't really have the resources like I did for baseball because my parents, they was ready to provide for that. They saw that as a means of success and getting somewhere in life. They
Mm-hmm.
seen that as the next level for me and they did all they could. But the whole time I wanted to do music and I was trying to like kind of express it to them because it's a hard place, especially when somebody investing all this money into you and all this time into you with something. You'll be kind of scared to be like, yo, like I kind of don't want to do this. I really like music. It was hard for me for a long time to muster up enough strength. It took until me being about to graduate a senior in high school to really put my foot down and be like, I'm not playing that shit no more.
Yeah. And
Especially because I was so good, like, and I was achieving a lot. I was getting awards like all CIF, all league, all this, all that. It didn't matter to me though. It only mattered to them people.
I feel like this situation, I don't have an exact example, but it's like a lot of people they good at some shit, but it's really like not their purpose. Like if I could give an example, even if it's really not that, but like I don't know, you remember like Michael Jordan, he stopped playing basketball and he started playing baseball because that's what he really wanted. But even
Yeah.
he was like the GOAT at basketball, his whole surrounding was telling him like, yo, go, you crazy? Like you the best at this shit. But if it's really not you doing some shit, even if you good at that shit, it's just like it's always gonna feel weird because you will never be able to enjoy your true talent because it's gonna be like, for me that shit is easy, but I force myself for y'all.
Yeah. It just was kind of like I wasn't even forcing myself. I felt out of place for a lot of different reasons. It was a motherfuckers that eat, sleep, breathe baseball. You know how serious that shit is. Like it's one of the highest paying sports. So it's motherfuckers that's really trying to feed their family with that, really trying to make a means to survive. And then it's just some motherfuckers that's they daddy already rich. They just want to have a little legacy or whatever the case may be. They want to really play this shit. They eat, sleep, breathe this shit, and that's not me. So I felt like a poser damn near. You feel me? I'm like, I'm good. I could keep up with y'all, and I'm playing this shit at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't even trying. It's motherfuckers waking up and working out every single day, and I was damn near like Allen Iverson. I'm like, you talking about practice? I ain't trying to even practice, and I just come out and do well just because that's me. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do good. Like I'm gonna try to focus. And for periods of time, I was training, but I wasn't taking it as serious as other people was, and I felt like I was disrespecting the game because I do love it. At the end of the day, it is my first love. Like I really love baseball.
So you feel like your love for the game and even your love for music, because you will say you quit baseball for like music because it was you another of your real passion. Do you feel like you really had to put the money to the side because baseball was a guaranteed bag because you knew you was about to like get far in this shit and get paid, but you really took like the music route, but it's a bigger risk.
Like with baseball, I'll be honest with myself and say, yeah, I was good and I could keep up with all the top talent. But at the end of the day, I just didn't have any intangibles when it came to that shit. And they wouldn't let me have any because just think about this. I'll put this in perspective for you. How many black people is it in the MLB? Not Dominicans. Like what percent? They say it's about 3% of the league is black people.
Word? I
Like
really don't know.
three, less than three, like less than three, I think. Like correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a really low number nonetheless. You feel me? So it's like this shit not even for me. And I had people tell me to my face that I'm not gonna like feel me. They just try to take little shit away from me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, when you get there, you're gonna have to cut that hair, the way that you dress, and the way that you're doing this. You're not gonna be able to do it.
Oh,
And I
okay.
like to really freely express myself, and I express myself through the game for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it for that because I get to play the way I play and still be successful. But in time when shit started getting serious and I started getting to the level where it's like, okay, then maybe go to the to professional.
Mm-hmm.
They like that shit not gonna fly up there, and I'm like, well, shit, I ain't gonna go there. Then
Yeah.
I just didn't see no point in it. If I can't be myself, what's the point?
Yeah. You rather like cash out now rather than just crash out later when everybody really depend on you.
If I was up there and playing that shit now, even to this day, and even if I made it far, I'll be the most miserable person in the world because I wouldn't be being myself. I'll be being myself to somebody else's standards, and I'll be having to say, I couldn't be who I am. I like to say what the fuck I want to say. I like to be who the fuck I am. I like to dress how I want.
Hmm.
And it's like some people would say if I did that, I'd be disrespecting the game. So I respected the game and I just left because just out of my respect for the people that's really doing this shit and really want to,
Mm-hmm.
it would be literally days I didn't want to. So I didn't, you feel me? I told myself, I don't need to be here. That's disrespectful to them and the game.
Yeah.
So that's where the respect for playing. I feel like that wasn't cool because even if I was doing well and I'm taking somebody's spot and we competing for spots on the team, it's like, damn, this man trying to feed his family with this shit. I don't even want to be here. So that shit just I felt guilty for shit like that. what really put it in perspective for me was when I got to like the college level and I was seeing motherfuckers 26, they got kids and shit. I'm like, he need this shit more than me. You feel me? I don't need this. Like, I got a meal ticket anyway. If I was gonna do anything, if I was gonna do music, if I was gonna draw, I'll figure out a way to hustle that shit to $1 million. You feel me?
Yeah, let them have that basically.
Yeah, damn near let them not let them have it, but just out of respect for the game, period. You feel
Yeah,
me? Damn, almost, but not quite. I
yeah,
wasn't on no like cocky shit. Like I just let them have that. It took a lot out of me because I did love it.
yeah. I feel you. No, I feel you. That makes sense, man. That makes sense. Real shit. So you finally like put the baseball on the side. When did you actually start to write music and like just record basically?
I knew it was my passion because I've been like dabbling in that shit all my life effortlessly, and it didn't feel like it was taking nothing out of me. It wasn't a hard thing to do. So just ever since I was little, I've been trying to just write shit down, and I've been around music. My parents and cousins, I got all type of people in my family that was always around music. When
Mm-hmm.
I was younger, my dad had a studio, so it was like I always be in there. I just wanted to. I always was interested in that shit, but around 2017, I ended up like finessing my way into some equipment, like some of my dad old shit, some shit I bought, some shit I find. You feel me? I just was trying to get it together, and I had like an old computer from like 2006. Like I had like a Dell, like a desktop computer, but the interface that my dad had for his shit, it didn't work with that. So I have to go on his computer, record, take it all the way upstairs to my computer, try to mix it. If I messed up on some shit, I had to go all the way back, record it again. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it was like a whole process. But like I really started taking it serious in about 2020. That's when I started like making music seriously with a purpose. But I always been around like just making music and shit. I always been interested in the scene, the underground.
And uh, how did you actually like get into hip hop, just music in general? Like, do you remember an artist that made you say, "Oh shit, like I gotta do this shit"?
I can name a couple for real, but a lot of moments in my life, it was Danny Brown. A lot of the moments in my life, like that's a rapper that my dad introduced me to, and the shit was just different. It was the essence of what underground was supposed to be to me, and like it was real raw. It was like nothing I ever heard on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that was like one of my first introductions to like the concept of a mixtape and an underground rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Because before that, I only had knowledge of what's playing on the radio. I'm just riding in the car, you feel me? I download music on my iPod, but when he showed me that, like that shit blew my mind. And I'm like, damn. And it sparked my interest for hip hop for real.
Mm-hmm.
But I always been interested I always listened to like music from the mixtape era. My dad, he would play all of the shit. Like it would just be crazy, blowing my mind. Like Thug, Future, when this first happening, like at the very beginning, and he like damn near he like this shit weak. Like it was at the very middle pivotal moment where they was trying to keep rap just hip hop, like really rapping that shit and like damn near boom bap, like some real rap shit. But it was changing, and I was watching that shit live, and that shit really inspired me, and it made me want to just be myself because I had never started really rapping because I thought like it was handicapped to you gotta be saying something and you gotta be really rapping some shit. Like
Yeah.
that's what I really thought. But it's a freedom, it's just expression. People expressing themselves at the end of the day. It's not a competition.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is an art more than anything. That's what I see it at. That's what my shit grew to be my position in this shit.
Yeah. And I feel, let me know if I'm right or wrong. You thought like you had to be lyrical or like speak some real shit on music because a lot of people that's from your age and your generation, y'all were a part of the transition where like y'all grew up on like lyrical shit, but soon as y'all got into your teenage year and shit, you start seeing guys like Future, Thug, Migos.
But it's like if you pay attention deep enough, they saying something. You feel me? People wouldn't give them the time of day, but the thing with the new age music in that transitional period is they was saying something and really expressing themselves, but people wouldn't look past how they expressing themselves. And they had to walk damn near so the artists of this generation could run. And I was amazed that these people is they saying some of the same shit and they pushing boundaries with this shit. They not confined to just one thing in one space. And they not just have you don't have to be lyrical. They obviously got the skill,
Mm-hmm.
but they deciding to express themselves in a certain way that nobody else can. And from a young age, I've been obsessed with individuality, if that makes sense. Wanted to just be your own person and be just an individual while still being able to draw inspiration and pay homage to others. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But I felt like in rap, it wasn't that. At that little transitional moment, they didn't want it to be that. They didn't want nobody to be individual. They wanted people to really rap that shit. And I was just like, that's cool. I still listen to that type of shit, but I was just like, that's not me though. I know my place in the world.
Yeah. You don't want to put yourself in like a structure where like, okay, I'm a rapper, so I have to do this.
Yeah, I don't have to do shit. It's America. You feel me? I can do whatever I want for
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I was on.
And I also feel like since you brought it up, like rappers like that be like from that era that you speak about, even if they say some real shit and people at first they were like, nah, like we don't want to listen to this shit. It's like they can still do like hooks that's gonna catch people that's not necessarily like lyrical and shit. But this, if you listen to like their project, they still got songs where they speak like they are. Like if you listen to, for example, like Future, people say I heard some people they say Future is not lyrical. Maybe if you look at
Uh,
his club hit, it ain't finna like he finna still speak some real shit, but he's gonna make it in a way where you don't have to think too much. But go on his tape and look at some song. Every tape he got like off the tape is basically some him speaking his heart into some real shit, real feelings and shit.
exactly. People don't. I feel like that shit. It connects with people in a certain type of way.
Mhm.
Speaking real shit, speaking on your real life, and speaking on some shit that's just being vulnerable
Mhm.
enough to do that is really, really hard. And I feel like for a point in time, hip hop was like, you gotta be hard. And it's still trying to be like that. Like you gotta be hard, but you don't. Like you don't gotta put up a front. Like all my shit I put in my music, I'm not putting up a front. I'm not trying to be cool. That shit is just me type shit.
Yeah.
This is the shit I've been through, been around. I'm not gonna say no shit in my music that's not true.
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel like that's not authentic. All right.
You said like your music is a part of like you writing your journey, basically you writing your biography, so you don't want to like put no
Yes.
like fake shit and shit. You'll be able to like send your music to someone that's never heard of it and is able to paint a picture of like who you are, a good picture of who you are just by listening to this shit.
Yeah, you feel me? I think that's what music is. I should be able to paint a picture of who you are, but through what you're saying, you should be able to paint a picture to somebody of who the fuck you are. Whether they play any song, I feel like if you play any song by me, you can get a general idea of who the fuck I am. You feel me? Even if it's just some simple shit that I don't even go to in detail on, because I generally don't like going into too much detail just to try to make it more relatable. I feel like when it's not a connection and it's a difference between you and the listener, it kind of make that shit play out for them after a certain amount of time. So I like to just keep that shit. I like to say shit in a way that you could damn near relate to. You might not even know what it is that I'm talking about, but you could relate to the statement that I'm making. I might be talking about some whole other shit. I might be talking about, let me not even say that. I don't even want to be like, I might be talking about doing crime, but I'll put it in a way to where somebody that don't do that, they can relate to.
Yeah, for sure. I can understand. Like you say, like an example, like anybody like could be rapping about doing crime, but he's gonna say it in a way where like I had to do shit I didn't want to do, But someone
Yeah,
that's not even doing crime, let's say he working a 9 to 5, he's gonna be able,
yeah,
shit, I had to do shit that I didn't want to do too. But since you
yeah.
said it in that way, even if you're speaking about some whole other shit, it's still gonna be people that like that
Connect.
can't relate to this shit that gonna be able to relate because just because of the way that you phrase that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not trying to push a bad agenda. I'm trying to damn near push like a better agenda. I want better for my people. I want better for myself. That's what I'm trying to show. That even though I am who I am at the end of the day, at the end of the night, I'm still trying to grow. And I want my music to be that journey and to paint that picture instead of just having it be music. It's not just music, it's art. It's artistic value in everything. You just gotta find it.
And before we get into your music, like, what do you feel like is your main artistic inspiration? It doesn't have to be like someone else, but something that helped you. It could be like, yo, I like to go walk on the beach just to think about certain lyrics. I like to go ride in my car and shit, and just to think about music or think about art. Like, how do you draw inspiration? At what moment? What do you need to do?
It's not a certain set of actions I need to do to draw inspiration, but what I'm inspired by is the same thing, just my growth as a human being. And I draw inspiration from everywhere, whether it's film, TV, uh, fashion, just daily life, the world in general, just give me a lot of inspiration, not just what I'm doing and what I got going on. That's not all I'm talking about in my music.
Mm-hmm.
I like to talk about shit that happens in my world. I like to bring people to my world and make it in a way to where they could relate. So like just my daily life inspires me, whether I'm doing nothing at all or I might be having a late week. You gonna know what's going on by my music. You feel me? So just I draw inspiration from everywhere. My favorite rappers, just my favorite artists, period. I love movies. I draw inspiration from those all the time. But just life, real shit inspire me. Shit
Mm-hmm.
that's real.
Yeah.
Like your mind, I just like to expand my mind.
Do you read books?
Yeah, I read books. Like I'm not like a person who just complete books in a week, but I make time for it. When I really want to know some shit, I'll go to a book. If it's a book about some shit that I want to know, I'll read it.
So we gonna start, man, like with your first project. Before the project is called Before Money, like before and like three four dollar sign and shit.
Yeah.
What actually made you think about doing your first project? Did you had a couple single before that?
Yeah, I did. They may be deleted or somewhere else. I'm not sure, but that was my first piece of work that I was proud of, and I knew in my journey that I was at the very beginning
Yeah.
type shit, and that's what inspired that. Retrospectively thinking, when I was doing it, I'm thinking I'm trying to blow, but really, what was inspiring me at that time was exactly that. Just knowing this is the beginning of some shit and trying to like find what it is I'm good at and find my place in this shit. Because while I got inspirations, at the same time, I thought I was the greatest ever. Even at that time, I'm like, bro, I could do this shit on a high level. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what it was inspire me. Just knowing that it's finna be a journey. So that's why I called it Before the Money. I didn't just call it the money. And that's what I think I'm gonna actually name one of my albums that in time when I get the chance. So it put in perspective the journey,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just gonna be called The Money because it's here now, and I'll be
Oh.
all the way down the line in my journey. I was thinking about this shit at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but it was hard to explain to people. I never ever got a chance to explain it, but yeah, just knowing that it's gonna be a journey and that I'm about to do this for a long time and finna be documenting my growth and posting it for other people to view. I want people to know that they could grow too, type shit.
Yeah. I feel like you predict a lot of shit. Like you like playing a lot of shit about not only your music, but it's kind of like linked to with your life. But
Yeah,
Do you believe in manifestation?
Yeah, I believe that whatever you want to do, you can do it. Like, I always believe that. I've been discouraged at times. That's all of us. But whatever you put your mind to, whatever you want to do, you can do it. But you just got to put both your feet in it and really attack it. It can't be your, if you want to do some shit, it can't just be your hobby. It got to have all your time. It got to be your passion. You can't cheat the grind. You feel me? The grind gonna always know if you really grinding. You can't have this shit as a side bitch. It gotta be your main. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
because the result gonna show.
yeah, the results are gonna show. Cause it's a motherfucker across the world right now that's, say you a basketball player, but you really want to play basketball, but you say you just don't got the time. You got to go to your job. You got to do something else. Something else is more important. Then the grind gonna know that something else is more important, and it is not gonna give you your flowers how you think you deserve. You may
Mm-hmm.
be working hard individually, but you're not working as hard as you could be on that. You got to take both your feet and stand in and stand on whatever you want to
Consistency.
accomplish.
Yeah, be consistent.
Yeah, hard work and dedication.
Yeah,
Being consistent in what it is that you're doing. You don't, nothing happen overnight, and it's gonna take a lot longer if you keep putting it off. If you don't put both your feet in it, and it's not gonna give you the results you truly want.
and the project before money, like we can even see on the picture, you was flexing like $1 bills. I think he might have like 1 or 2 20 in this shit, but you
Yeah,
flexing $1. It was that shit on
yeah,
purpose.
yeah. Because I knew I ain't had no money for real. Like I always knew I had an idea of what real money is. I knew I couldn't buy shit with that, but I'm flexing what I got. This is me before the money. I been flexing, you feel me? So when I just pop out flexing hundreds, motherfucker could go look back and see exactly where I came from, you feel me? And make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not flexing for no reason to look cool. I'm just documenting my progress.
Yeah,
Because in certain times, you feel me, when you get to certain levels of life, your flexes is gonna be different. It's gonna be different kinds of flexes. For me at the time, I just really wanted some money. Now, right now, I'm at the point where I don't even gotta flex money, you feel me? I know what real money look like, type of shit.
yeah.
So it's just like it depends on where you at in life. That shit might inspire a kid to really go get some money, really start hustling.
And I think I already asked that, but I'm trying to like rephrase that shit. But what make you like predict shit? What make you say, oh shit, like okay, I'm gonna flex money on my first mixtape. Then I know a couple years later, I'm gonna be able to look back at that shit, and like people will be able to see my growth. Like, do you write that shit down?
Nah, it's just having faith in yourself. You gotta always just have faith. I knew where I would be. I know where I'm going right now. And I just got faith in God, the universe, and in myself.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Always having faith. That's something that you gotta keep. Because if you don't believe you finna do some shit, nobody else is gonna believe it either. Nobody gonna believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. This is gonna be clear if you don't got the confidence. So I always try to keep that with me. Just the confidence that I'm gonna carry out my mission and what it is that I want to do, regardless of what it is.
Yeah,
And I knew that at that point in my life, I wanted to have some more money. I knew that shit was coming. So I'm like, let me document this now. You feel me? This before the money. Watch when I get some money though, what I start doing. I knew I would be great. You feel me? I always had faith in myself.
at the beginning, people was already like supporting you or like pushing you to do this shit, or like
Hell
you
nah.
never felt like giving up at first.
I always felt like giving up, but not for reasons that other people may think. Because if this shit wasn't my passion for real, I wouldn't have kept going. Like the music interested me more than blowing up. I would do this shit for free. It just come with money because the game is always gonna pay you back. You gonna get out what you put in. I done spent countless amount of money on studio sessions, countless amount of money on equipment, on VSTs, just trying to get better. You gonna get that money paid back to you. It's not a problem. It's not. I never was looking at it like a loss. I was looking at it as an investment. You feel me? So that's just that.
And what made you like so confident in yourself with the music? How did you knew you had that much talent?
For me, it just was, I knew I just had a passion for the shit. I knew I had it in me, but I knew that this shit would be a learning process and that it don't come overnight. The journey really motivated me, and I knew that this shit would be a journey, and I was excited for it because it was my passion. So I knew I had a talent for it because I could already make beats and shit. You feel me? At this point in my career, at Before the Money, I could already make music that could connect with people. And I was producing shit for people that was doing amazing numbers, like 100,000, 250,000, all in high school. And I was helping out people with their music and they shit was getting a good response. So I'm like, I know I can do this shit for myself. And it didn't come with immediate support. It was met with more of a like crickets. You feel me? Nobody really said nothing. Nobody really thought nothing of it. Even the people that produced on that project that I still work with to this day, like Brent Rambo, I sent it to him and I really didn't get no response, which was understandable. It's not my greatest piece of work. And I wasn't anybody. I didn't have no numbers behind it. I didn't know what I was doing. Sometimes you do wrong things, but it's all to teach you a lesson. I didn't get immediate support though, like at all. And I still don't get the support I be thinking I deserve. But at the end of the day, you do gotta earn it. That's like a big misconception a lot of artists have, is that they deserve the support of their friends and they deserve the support of other people when you really don't. And at the end of the day, you have to earn it. Cause why should we care? And I knew that from the very beginning. I gotta figure out why people should care about this shit. And if you put in enough work and time and effort, that's gonna be recognized alone. It's about who pushed their program the hardest, who keep doing this shit the longest in the right way, and whoever not just doing shit. I wasn't just doing shit. I had a objective with my shit every single time, and they differ from project to project. Like now, it's more clear cut. If you couldn't tell, but back then I had like an objective. Okay, I want this to be my first project and I want it to sound like this and look like this. That's what I was on. I was just taking things step by step and I knew that the support wasn't gonna come. It was times I wanted to quit though, for sure.
And what did you actually did to change your mind from giving up?
Well, it wasn't a set of actions I took to not give up.
Mm-hmm.
It was my interest in it and my passion for it that kept me going. The actual music, I didn't give a fuck about the numbers, but I did though, because time was moving. I was in high school and I'm like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. If I don't get some type of numbers or money from it, I'm gonna be asked out. So I felt like that shit just came with it. And it was a certain type of pressure, but at the end of the day, it's no pressure. So
Yeah.
I was just like, I was just continuing. I was flip-flopping between that. Like I don't got time and just enjoying it. So it was like, whenever I felt like, damn, bro, like it's crunch time, bro. That's what it motivated me, because I felt like I had to blow up before I got out of high school, which obviously that shit didn't end up happening like I thought it was.
Yeah.
But like I said, the journey always motivated me.
It might not have happened, but it gave you like a little boost and shit, because
Yeah,
you was already like setting objective for yourself. So you was like, yo, I'm trying to blow up before that high school shit hand. Maybe if I don't attain it, like back then your mindset was like, that's the goal. So you did
yeah.
whatever it take to get there. Even if you didn't get there, all the effort was like already like done and shit. I don't know if you
Yeah,
get
and
what
I
I'm
didn't know
saying.
how this shit worked. I didn't know how none of this shit worked. And I thought it worked like that. Like if you was just a young kid rapping, you could
Mm-hmm.
blow up with this shit. Which damn near today it worked like that. And I'm a little bit jealous of the younger artists that could just come out and be young and be popping their shit and get
Mm-hmm.
on like that. But when I was younger, when I was that young, it didn't work like that. I was doing something totally different, some shit nobody ever heard before. They kind of was like, what the fuck? Some people fucked with it, a lot of people fucked with it like undercover. They didn't really fuck with it like on the outside level to where they gonna support you and show up and get your merch. Like, you know, they wasn't loyal fans or anything, but they supported from afar because I
Yeah.
guess they didn't want to be seen as I
Fanboy.
don't know, yeah, like a fan or not cool because I'm just another kid to them. So it was understandable. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be fanning out over a nigga my age either. Type shit, like if I was in high school.
Yeah. But now it's different though. Like now it's I don't know if you internet was the same back then,
It
but
wasn't.
now it's like you could be in high school and be a superstar, but nobody in high school know about you or give a fuck about you, but you're a superstar in your phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it was kind of like, I don't know. LA real political. They get to talk about you like, hey, they'll ask motherfuckers like, hey, you heard his song? And the motherfuckers, they'll politic on it, they'll talk about it. But what they support, they'll do that before they support you.
Check your background and shit.
You see what you talking about. They'll listen to it. I remember they used to do that shit like motherfuckers making music at school. Hey, we finna all listen to this shit. Let's see what he talking about type shit. It could be another motherfucker making music. They be like, let's hear this shit and turn it on. Feel me? And have they little kangaroo court like this shit trash. One person be like, this shit hard to me. And then they get left alone after that. They don't really get see the light of the day after that.
I feel like it's when you get these harsh review that you get better over time. Cause like as soon I feel like, and let me know if I'm right or wrong, but you probably didn't have like harder and harsher feedback from when you left high school, because in high school people saw you every day, so they weren't like scared to tell you what the fuck is going on with your music. Rather than the internet, well, if someone is that shit is trash, they're not trying to necessarily say it. They're just gonna quit your page.
Yeah. Well, in high school, for me, I didn't receive harsh feedback or nothing because it was so different from what was going on at that time. They didn't know what the fuck it was. So it was like, he just on some different shit. You feel me? Type shit.
Yeah,
Like he on some different shit. Like we don't know if it'll blow up or not, but we know he different. So the motherfuckers that did support, they supported off the strength of that. And
yeah.
I was just in tune with a lot of the little LA culture and shit already. Like I was working on stuff for some of the local artists that was popping at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
just did music, you feel me? Period. I had a passion for it. I wanted to mix and master, and I wanted to make people's songs better. I
Yeah.
wanted to just help. Just my area. I like making music. I would do that shit for free, and that's what I was doing. So I had like a certain respect, but at the same time, not as much respect as I wanted as an artist.
Yeah.
They just knew, okay, he do this music shit, but his shit, they nobody was paying attention to my actual shit. You feel me?
But if we can compare like the shit that you just said, like you was doing that shit for free, helping people mixing their song, producing for them and shit. If we go back to like the baseball, you quit the baseball even if you knew there was money at the end. Of course there was other reason and shit, but you respected the baseball so much that you was ready to give up on the money to leave that shit to go to something that you respect so much that you was willing to do for free.
Yeah. Well, with the baseball, it wasn't no really money in it at the time. And my mind so like I got a little kid mind, but at the same time, I always been trying to hustle. Like I always wanted some money type shit. Like hence the title Before the Money. I knew I was supposed to get some money somehow type shit. And I couldn't express this to nobody, but the music shit not getting me. I mean, the baseball shit not getting me no money. I'm like, I'm not trying to really do this shit. This is for no reason. Like, okay, it's fun, but nigga, this shit ain't doing nothing but taking money from my family. They gotta pay for fees for me to go train, or I gotta go to a tournament. We gotta get in the car and go far, and it costs money. And I didn't like the weight that I had over my head because, like, when I wanted to quit, it'll be like, damn, I can't quit. They put all this money into it. When I thought about it, I'm like, nigga, who asked me what I want to do? Type shit. You feel me? I'm like, nah, this is what I want to do. And I start rebelling hard. You feel me?
It was better that you do it that shit like kind of early before you, like I said, like you crash out in the middle of like where people really need you.
That's how it felt to a lot of people. Like, damn, you had that shit going. Why you ain't just keep going? Because I reached the point where I was just coasting. I was just going with the flow, and that's not what you're supposed to do with that shit. I feel like if you're gonna do anything, you got to be taking that shit 100% serious. It can't be playtime. I really didn't give a fuck when I was on the field. Like, of course, I just got competition is in me, and I wanted to compete, and that's what I liked about it. I liked competing. I liked seeing the challenge out there. I liked when people was better than me, so I could show them you're not better than me. Like that just was in me. I liked that. When I was on the field, I'd be a whole different person, and I loved that. But at the end of the day, I didn't love what it was doing to me and my family dynamic.
Yeah.
Sometimes I felt like me and my dad relationship was predicated off of whether I do well or not, whether I take this shit, you feel me, to the top with this shit. And I knew it was a journey with this too that I wasn't willing to go through. It take years and years on top of years to even get to the pro level where you making a certain amount of money. And I felt like people was thinking about it unrealistically for us, where I'll be doing the same thing I'm doing right now with the music, with the baseball, but I'll just be not enjoying myself. Why would I take a journey that I'm not going to enjoy, all for some money? It's kind of like a at what cost type of thing. Like I could have made it. I got a whole song about it. Like you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's called Oregon War. Like I really felt strongly like I could have made it with baseball, but I just didn't want to do it for the sake of my own mind and myself, and knowing how bad I'll be suffering if I did take that journey and take that route.
Sacrificing relationship with your dad and people around.
Yeah, that's what that whole album is about, and that's what it's based around. The album is called The Advent, and the Advent is the arrival of somebody important, but it also connects to anime, which is like, you feel me? One of my big inspirations when it comes to my music. It's an anime called Berserk that I really connect with because one of the characters in it, they sacrifice everything for what they want. That's just a vague description of it. I don't want to give it up. I want people to actually research it and go watch it themselves and get their own interpretation of it. But I connected with it because I felt like I had to sacrifice a lot just to do what I love. You feel me? So I really connected with that, and I called it the Advent, like just paying homage to the anime and how I felt like that was just the start, another new beginning to my journey was me sacrificing everything that, and some of the shit hurt me just sacrificing it, but I had to.
Yeah. And what would you feel is your biggest sacrifice that you did to get into like the pursuit of your music career or music passion?
I really had to sacrifice my relationship with a lot of different people, including my friends and my family. And that shit hurt me a lot. Just as you feel me, just as it would hurt anybody. I'm not trying to be a cool guy. I like to be vulnerable in my music, and I like people to have their own interpretation of what each project is. But that's a basis of what it is. Just me sacrificing everything, and just me taking you through my journey of all different emotions. If you listen to the project, you hear all type of different emotion in it.
By the song by Brent Rambo, Young Thought Breaker. You had a song remixed from Chief Keef, Can You Be My Friend and shit.
Yeah.
You got the Young Thought Breaker from Chief Keef, right?
Yeah, I've been a fan of Chief Keef for a long time. Like that's one of my biggest inspirations. Not musically and sonically. Sometimes you may be able to hear it because I fuck with his music hard, and I'll be liking to pay homage, and I like to really show who I am through my music. And yeah, that's what I was on at that time. I was listening to a lot of Thoughtbreaker. So I was like, shit, I'm a young Thoughtbreaker.
You still a thought breaker to this day?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a Thoughtbreaker to this day. I done broke a lot of bitches. I don't feel too good about it. I don't see it as something cool, but yeah, that's some more drama. You feel me? That's drama for you. I will break a bitch. I don't know, like, I ain't even trying to be cool, but I hate talking like this, but like, that's a common theme in my life.
Yeah.
Bitches love calling motherfuckers narcissistic, and they just found that word, and they just now finding out what it means. They using it a lot. And it's
Yeah.
like, Yeah, I
Soon,
guess you
soon,
could say I'm a thought breaker.
yeah, I feel like soon as somebody is like confident in himself, they quick to use that narcissistic
Yeah.
word and shit.
Motherfucker just know his worth type of shit. I love myself a lot. And I'm the type of person I give somebody my all until I just really can't no more. And it's like after that, when you put me to that point, it's like, you feel me? Yeah, it's over. Like I'm not gonna go out my way to break you, but just you realizing damn near what you lost, that shit just gonna break you. You feel me? Whatever. I don't know. It's a lot of different. That's a lot. That's a lot to unpack. The thought breaker shit and break your bitches. I'm not here for that. I don't want to break nobody. Like I'm not trying to just, you feel me, treat bitches a certain type of way or women. Excuse me, but like that shit just happens. That's a common theme in life for real.
I mean, people get their feeling hurt all the time, shit. But
Yeah.
the reason why I brought up like Chief Keef is because I really like want to get back on like the baseball shit that you said at the beginning. Even with that, like he's one of the guys. I feel like he didn't fuck with like the old industry shit, so he didn't went
Nah.
and follow the route that people were telling him to follow. Instead, he went on and like did music when he wanted to release the shit that he wanted, and now like we can see like the whole shit that he did. Like basically, a huge part of the music today is built on the fact that he did the shit that he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's the type of thing I am. Like, I just want to do what I want to do. That shit resonated with me about him. Like, it may not even be so much his music some of the time, some periods in my life. It was just what he had going on. He was just completely being himself. And at one point in time, the world was just his type shit. You feel me? Like, I can't sit here and lie. He
Hmm.
had his way. And I really like appreciate his journey. It's really inspiring to just look at, especially from my perspective and the way that I think about it. Some
Hmm.
people just see him as Chief Keef, but he a real inspiration. That's somebody that you should look up to. Maybe not do the things that he did or do things that he's done, but the way he operated is real inspiring to me. The fact that he did exactly what he wanted, he executed his vision at all times, and he didn't do nothing outside of himself. He didn't sell out. That shit, I fuck with it a lot. Cause a lot of rappers they sell out at some point. Man, never once have I ever seen Chief Keef do no shit that wasn't Chief Keef of him. You feel me?
Yeah, facts, facts.
His character is him. A lot of motherfuckers gotta build a character, and I respected that about him. Like he didn't have to build a character. The shit is centered around him, just being him.
So before we get into like the Flashing Light album, you had another like remix, another one of my inspiration, Doo Kane,
Yeah.
the Eggbeater remix.
Yeah, that was my first little popular shit. I ain't gonna lie. When I dropped that shit, motherfuckers did fuck with it, but they didn't know who Drop Kane was, and I did. Like I said, I always been in that little world, and people really couldn't understand like what the fuck it was I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the culture I was into because it was something like I had never seen before. Just being introduced to the underground was amazing to me, and I like to not stand out, but just be my own individual. So I just had to put my spin on it. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. So
Cause it's not even it's a remix, but it's not though. You feel me? Like it's just the same beat, but I'm rapping on
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That's what I meant by remix, like just the
Yeah. So
yeah.
like for a lot of people who was fucking with that song, if you go look, it only got like about 5,000 plays, but that shit was a lot. It kind of stagnated over time because people just don't go back and listen to it. But that was my one little hit. Like people fuck with that from me. And it's like I introduced a lot of people into a world that they didn't even know about before then.
Yeah. You feel like you put the people that's around you on the underground SoundCloud scene?
I tried over time. Like it didn't really that shit just didn't really resonate with a lot of people, but now they get it. Like they like, damn, you been on this shit for real. You be knowing what's going on. It's because I be feeling like I could see into the future just from a producer mindset. I feel like a lot of great producers, they could damn near see 5 years, 10 years into the future, what's gonna be hot. So I was just thinking like that. I knew where this shit was going, and I knew that in some time this shit is gonna be a staple.
If you could give a percentage of how much you produce versus the time that you actually record like vocals and shit.
I wouldn't say I'm either or. I'm just an artist at the end of the day. And what I mean by that is not to just come off as like snobby, but just I find art in it. Like that's a part that you gotta know if you call yourself a true artist. Like to me, in my opinion, that's my viewpoint on it. That's not what I think generally, because everybody got their own journey. But for me, I had to really learn every single aspect of it to do and execute what I wanted to execute at the end of the day. So I do both about 100%. You feel me? It's never a moment in time where I'm not making a beat or where I'm not recording. It is sometimes where I get in that mode, like, okay, I gotta produce. Let me knock out some beats. It is times where I'm like, let me do like 6 songs today. Let me do some music today. But it's always about level. It's always about 100 and 100. So it's like I'm 200% in it. It's not a 50-50 type of thing or like a 70-30. I'm a artist, period. I'm a producer, rapper, a writer, singer, songwriter, whatever it is that I want to be in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. But when I say like percentage, I meant like the time spent every day.
Believe it or not, I don't record every single day and I don't make beats every single day. And I know that kind of contradict what I was saying, where I was saying this is not my hobby. It's my passion. But when I do, it's about 50-50. I'll record some songs and then make some beats. Like that's how I go about it.
Yeah.
Like 50-50.
Yeah.
In a day of me, it's gonna be 50-50.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I touch all bases and satisfy what I want to satisfy creatively for myself. I may want to produce a song for myself type shit. So I do that. I may want to get a placement with one of the locals here. I like fucking with people that I actually know and people that got their own story that I can relate to. Like my boy Zaya Wells, like he really pushed me on the production side. And he don't even say much. He just be like, cook that shit up. And I'd be like, all right. That pushed my mind to expand and be like, okay, what should I do? What do I want to hear him on? What it make me really produce. And that's the difference between a producer and a beat maker. So I don't really make a lot of beats, but I do produce a lot.
You don't just make the beat, you help to like, you can help the artist to say, yo, you should use this flow. You should use those type of words.
Not even that. It's just like providing a landscape, providing a canvas for the rapper as an artist to paint on too, because that may just be their art. My art happens to be both. So like for a rapper, and that's their whole art, painting pictures with words, I want to make it easier and make it more organic for them to paint their picture instead of just giving them any type of beat. I want to give them the beat that I think they can paint their picture on correctly and paint their picture on with efficiency and do exactly what they want on it. So that's what I mean by producing. Sometimes I just make beats like just to stay oiled, stay seasoned. So I don't get lousy.
You had your tape flashing light, like even with like the cover, we could see like it was about to talk about some serious shit. What do this project represent? Because people can interpret it different way. Because even before the interview, I told you I thought it was about this, but you really told me no, it's about some other shit. So really, people can interpret it different way.
Yeah. The story of that exact tape was just I wanted a second one. I wanted another insert of my growth and another insert of my journey. So I started working on shit that spoke to me. And at the time, it was a lot of inspiration drawn from just the underground and the parts of the underground that I was paying attention to. Like if you listen to the song, Nothing Was the Same, a lot of that production is inspired by Doo-Wop King, because for periods of time, the underground wasn't too many people. It's not like how it is where it's a whole roster of motherfuckers that's supposed to be underground. It was about Doo-Wop King. Who else? They had like Candy Paint. Trippie Redd was underground at the time. Cardi was underground at the time. Like you can name endless amount of people, but it wasn't too many to where the shit getting watered down. So like I'm paying attention to the motherfuckers who I relate to, which was at the time Doo-Wop King. And the story behind that song really was I was trying to get a beat from 99. That's what we was working with. This one like Underdog had came out, and I was like, damn, this shit hard as fuck. And I hit him for a beat and I couldn't afford it. Then I thought that shit leveled up my production because I'm like, damn, I can make this shit myself. And I made like the exact beat that I wanted. I was gonna settle for some shit that he just produced, but I'm like, nah, I can't settle. I gotta make exactly what I want. And feel me, motherfuckers call it what they want. They could call it biting, but I was just a kid. I was about, feel me, I wasn't even 16 yet. I was just really heavily inspired. And I wanted that. I wanted that beat. I wanted the beat from me by him. And he wouldn't let me get it, but he was like, I got a track train, and you could visit that. And I didn't really fuck with any of the beats on there. So I was like, I just make the shit myself and throw my spin on it and rap about what I want to rap about. And it was just more exploration, finding myself and finding what I fuck with and trying to get better at the mixing and the whole production aspect. Basically, my first couple mixtapes was just test runs, and I knew that to an extent, and I really fucked with it.
Yeah. And you said like this tape, you felt like you had to express your growth, like kind of like a checkpoint in your life where like, okay, this is
Yeah,
my growth. But and you do that shit with all your project. But
yeah.
what some shit that you feel where you feel like, okay, it's the right moment to put a checkpoint here, or just to express and look back at my growth?
Just the feeling, just the plan and the feeling, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, what I mean by that is just damn near your intuition. I felt like I should drop this right now. This is what I needed to do, and I need to carry out this plan with this amount of efficiency. And that's what I did. Just showing myself time and time again that if I put my mind to something that I can do it. And all of that shit on there was super experimental to me. It may not have been to the scene or to anybody else, but for me, I really had to muster up a lot of strength to make them instrumentals and rap that shit like how I was rapping it and really channel my inner artist more than anything. It was a challenge because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know how to do this shit. So just putting out another body of work, that shit just spoke to me. And I was struggling at the time. Like I made all of them songs around the same time. Whereas like now I'll make a bunch of songs and they won't come out for a long time. I really pick and choose. I could pick and choose which ones I want to drop instead of just having like being handicapped to I can make this amount of songs. That was the amount of songs that I can make. And that's the amount of songs that I put on there. And at the time, them was my only works. Them was my only songs type shit. So that's the part I was thinking about. I'm like, I can't sit on this. It got to come out now because this is how old I am now. And this is my growth right now. And I saw myself as growing from the last tape. I felt like it was better to me.
I feel like you stay strong on the belief of, like I said, like predicting shit. You knew you could only do like certain amount of songs because you couldn't, like, I guess, afford studio or some shit.
It was like this. Like at this point, I had a certain amount of equipment and I was handicapped to doing things that was exhausting and would be tiring to an artist, like back and forth room to room. So then I was like, let me ask if I could put all of the shit in my room. And my dad, he had said, yeah, like you could put the computer in your room, but I still was handicapped to going back and forth. So I made with what I could at the time. And I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to just build my brand and build my image and build myself to for people to know that I do this shit, y'all. Like, hey, look, it's me. I'm dropping another project. I haven't quit yet. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? And that gave me a little bit more respect. And just as time went, that's how it went. It just snowballed into more and more respect being built.
Yeah.
And I knew it was gonna take time for me to get the respect that I want. And I knew that I just didn't have that same sense of entitlement that artists come in this shit with. I didn't really think that people have to support me. I knew that I have to earn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what kept me going, just to earning it. Because I know I deserve it inside of me. But I wanted to make people see that I ain't quit yet. I'm still doing this shit and I'm still going strong.
You feel like from project to project, the people that were, like you said, not supporting you start taking you more serious over time, or they just
Yeah.
ghosted.
It's like at that point in my career. Can you see me still?
Yeah.
At that point in my career, yeah, people was starting to see slowly, one by one by one by one. And that's how I was gaining my momentum, just one by one. And I think that's something that a lot of artists they should just appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't appreciate it for a long time, but after a while it started to grow on me, just the journey. That's like a big thing. That's why I keep repeating it so much. But at 2018, 2017, I was just trying to get something out because I knew I ain't had time. That was basically the big motivator behind everything. I knew I ain't had no time because I started high school in what, 2016,
Yeah.
2017. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. Like, and I knew with this music shit, all it take is one. So I'm like, one of these motherfuckers off the tape gonna hit. And when it didn't, that didn't stop me. That didn't demotivate me or anything. It just made me like, okay, next one. One of these motherfuckers gonna hit. Next one of these motherfuckers gonna hit. So
Yeah.
like,
You still
yeah.
treat your music like that to this day?
Uh, these days I treat my music differently because the direction I'm headed is a little bit more clear for me. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of different people that's coming into the picture. I'm getting feedback from people that I grew up on, damn near, you feel me? Motherfucker like Brian Rambo telling me this shit hard. That shit changed my life forever. That shit made me want to keep going because these are the people I'm inspired by. And when I start getting like actual support from people that I was inspired by originally, it inspired me to go deeper into my art and deeper into myself
Mm-hmm.
and really be special. That's all of that stuff is pre-child of drama before I was going by that. I didn't start going by that until I dropped the Child of Drama tape because at the time, me and the
Mm-hmm.
person who owned the Drama Club Kids brand, we was talking about having a music department, and I wanted to be a part of whatever he had going on,
Yeah.
regardless, because I wasn't really into the fashion shit at that point. At one point, I did want to do something that had to do with fashion,
Mm-hmm.
but I got more into the music stuff. And I was like, shit, I could be like the head of the music shit. I could be the face of the shit with the music, and we could move like that and really build something strong. Almost like our future-esque. You get what I'm saying? Some shit
Yeah.
like our future where they got the
Collective.
brand. Yeah, collective. That's what I was headed for. But that shit just didn't really stick like how I thought it would be. It ended up damn near only being me really taking the shit
Mm-hmm.
serious on that type of level. But it worked out in the end. Like I'm kind of glad it didn't go that way to where it was like a whole collective of motherfuckers because that shit made me dive even deeper into myself and my art. I was just alone in that aspect. It was just me doing the music and he had the brand
Mm-hmm.
and I was just writing for bro. You feel me? I wanted to see bro succeed. So I felt like however I could bring attention to that, it would be cool if I brought attention to this shit with the music shit. And what you see on the cover art is actually the original design. It's the original design of the shirt that never dropped.
type shit. I had like one of the only I had like one of the only shirts like that, and it worked out. I started going by that shit.
Because I was just looking at the cover and shit.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what the shirt was. But he printed it backwards. It was like a mirror tee. And like when you look in the mirror, it said clearly, but like if it was real life, it would say that shit backwards. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, that's shit hard.
That shit was dope to me. So I'm like, bro, that's fire. He like, yeah, like printed this shit wrong. I'm like, bro, you should drop it like this.
Yeah,
He kind of was like, nah, I don't really remember all what happened to that shit, but it just never ended up dropping. And I had the only one. I still got it. I don't know where it is.
that's some shit that I get tatted for real. Because you
You
look
feel
at
me?
yourself in the mirror, that shit change and shit.
Yeah. That shit was just fire to me.
And at that point of your career, you said a little bit more people start supporting, but you still felt underrated and shit. At what project did you feel like, okay, they start to notice?
It had to be Say Hi Samad, but even that childhood drama, I was working with artists that's like on now. So like on the original project, I had a song with Autumn. It was called Won't Smoke, but it got taken down for whatever odd reason. But
Mm-hmm.
that shit was fire. It actually did give me like a cool little bit of attention within the underground. Like people listened to it just because he was on it, and it was at a very early point in his career. So that shit was just really, it was nice for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Say Hi Samad, I had dropped that shit and motherfuckers started paying attention. It was one song that was pivotal. It was called Heaven's Interlude, which on that album I put like an acoustic version of it because it was just my single. And I just always like doing shit like that. I like rapping on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to show that this shit sound good just by itself with the piano. I just
Yeah.
wanted to show my little artistry off. But like that's when I started gaining support and people start noticing like, oh, okay, you rap. That's around like what, like 2020, 2019? Yeah, like 2019, motherfuckers was like, okay, he's a rapper.
And I forgot the name of the song. I wrote it down because I don't want to like I have to look it like for it for like hours. But if we go on the playlist, because you got a playlist on the SoundCloud with all the songs that you produce, but the first song I remember the cover I think was Yellow. It's like
Yeah.
a 80s pop
Yeah.
Miami Vice sample on a Detroit beat. How do you actually like feel free to use those type of sample? But like how do you get your inspiration or like just the feeling of just being able to hop on anything, even if you wasn't the one that rap on it, but just you picking different genre of music and putting them together?
Well, like I was saying, like I had a lot of peers that I was working with and they seen what I was doing with other artists and they
Mm-hmm.
just had they shit already. And it was my boy Young Zay. He already had a name for himself, and he was doing numbers at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
he fucked with my shit, and he fucked with the underground too. That's one thing we related in. And at the time, that's the type of beat he wanted. So I'm like, shit, bro, I'm trying to produce some shit for you. Can I, feel me, make the beat? He like, yeah, like I want you to make the beat. He like, I need a beat like this, and I just made it. You feel me? Just to challenge myself and really just have another bag because I feel like true artists could do any type of art, but they always got what makes them special.
Do you have like an email or some shit where they can copy your beat?
Yeah, I got a track train, and right now, shit, you could just DM me on Instagram and you could get one. But shit, I ain't gonna lie, it's getting that time. You feel me? And time is running out. You gonna have to get in contact with somebody else in a minute. But yeah, right now I got a whole beat store, and it's gonna stay up just because I want people to be able to rap on my beats for a certain amount of time. But when this shit get exclusive and the prices go up, it just go up. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even control that. Like yesterday's price is not today's price. That's one thing I operate on.
I feel like sometimes you don't even like you have to say you can't even control it. Like
Yeah, you
you
feel me?
1 week you there, but like 2 weeks later you over there. But the
Yeah,
people that's just gonna like tap in with you or that being seeing what you got going on, they wasn't there during the 2 week to see like why that did that shit fluctuate or some shit.
yeah.
So now they might like pull up right now and they be like, damn, like what happened?
It's like me right now. July 4th, 2022. I'm not turning down no money. Like if you come to me with a budget and you want to get a beat or if you want to get a feature, I work with it right now.
Mhm.
But by the time you seen this interview or whenever you see this shit, I can't control what's gonna happen type shit. You feel me? So it's like I would say get the shit right now while it's hot, while the going gets good. That's exactly what I did. I got a lot of features from artists that's super duper famous right now. Just peeping, like, you feel me? Because that's how I operate. Like I know today's price is not tomorrow's price. You feel me? Yesterday's price is not today's.
Yeah, that shit is not stable. And in my opinion, Child of Drama. But I feel
Yeah,
like it was the tape that were the most like relaxed shit. Like more,
yeah,
chill, laid back vibe. Cause you had Keep It a Band. It's a plug and be song. It's produced
yeah.
by Goyard and a guy called Z Going Crazy.
Yeah, that's like some of the originators of the plug and beat shit for
Yeah.
real. And like I fucked with that shit at a certain time, but it's just what I don't know. It wasn't me. I was heavily inspired by the underground though. So like just around the same time I'm catching on to the plug and be like right now it's really, really popular, but back then it wasn't. I saw it as something different and I was heavily inspired by Autumn and Summers. But later on I ended up getting away from that just because just I wanted to be obsessed. I'm always been obsessed with individuality, like I was saying. So then I'm like, man, I'm buying these niggas flows. Like I could do this shit my own way. So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's some of the original shit for real. It don't get no better than that. Even though I wasn't as good as I am,
Mm-hmm.
that's the very beginning of like plug and B. That shit wasn't even. I wasn't even calling that shit that. Like I didn't know what the fuck it was. I just knew Go Yard, Z Going Crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, these niggas hard. Let me rap on this beat. And I felt like it was a certain way you had to rap on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still feel that way to this day. Like it's a certain way you gotta rap on plug and beat, even though I don't personally, but I think it sounds good sonically a certain type of way.
Yeah. But the producer's getting insane and shit.
Yeah, they getting crazy and it's getting not washed, but anybody can make a plug and beat now. It's not a secret. Back then, I felt like I had to figure it out. Like I was obsessed with shit that I couldn't do. Just like Brent Rambo shit. I'm still obsessed with that shit, but like plug and B, just through my time producing, I figured out exactly like what plugins to use with that shit and like how to make the basic plug and B shit. Now it's evolving. They got all type of different subgenres. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really paid attention to like the plug and B shit that much. I see Summers and Autumn, they still on it, which is only right. They the
Yeah.
originators of that shit damn near. Motherfuckers like 704, what is his name? Texaco, all of them people, they still on it. And I feel like that's only right. But I feel like the people hopping on the wave, they
Mm-hmm.
need to find their own wave for real.
Yeah, because now, like, especially with the hyper pop shit, everybody sound like the same and shit. But you
Yeah.
being like watching the underground scene for a while, do you feel like the underground was like better as far as like music in general back then or now? Because I feel like right now there's a lot of people that do sound alike. Like everybody do hyper pop, everybody do plug and beat, and that shit
Yeah.
sound the same every time.
That shit is definitely it's definitely weaker to me because it's easy to pop in a certain sense that like motherfuckers will see something popping and direct just jump on it because that's the way they could blow up. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't even identify what it is that they good at. It's easy to copy and paste a motherfucker. It's hard to find yourself, and I feel like that's the aspect a lot of artists is missing with the originators of that shit. And I don't even know all who was on that shit before, but like just from what I've seen, they really they found themselves. They found their lane. For me, they found what they was good at, and they fucked with it. It's easy to see that that's the type of music that they like making. So I think that's the best thing. Not just making what's hot. that shit was not hot at a point. It was not nothing nobody wanted to hear. It was not nothing nobody had ever heard before. So in that aspect, I think it's better. But in the aspect of just like mixing and like how good you can get in a short amount of time, I feel like it's way easier to do that now. And that's what make it a little bit watered down. That's why I feel like the underground damn near in a recession. And it feel like, damn, we being kept from the good. I remember when it was 2016. That's why motherfuckers reminiscing, because it's not too much originality. And that's just what I've been planning to like bring to the table. Some type of originality, some type of individuality, another character that people could cling on to, you feel me?
Because at the end, bro, like that underground shit, it's like people want to do like the same shit, but everybody think like they're up there. That's why I like, since I started doing this interview shit, that's why I peep back. A lot of people, they good, like they good at this shit, but it's like, what make you different from other artists?
Yeah, that's the thing for me. I don't listen to a lot of these new artists because why would I listen to you making plug and be when I could go straight to the source and get
Yeah,
the raw with exactly the essence of it and what it exactly is. I don't want to listen to another carbon copy. I want to listen to who's actually making this shit, who personality this is.
yeah.
I don't want to listen to the filter shit. It's like another motherfucker filter to you. You feel me? And when you do that, you carbon copy somebody. You just you make them bigger than what they are, and you push them to the spotlight for real.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the underground. Is that the main problem for me is that a lot of these kids is blowing up because it sound good, quote unquote. You feel me? It sound good, but they not being themselves. They don't even know who they are. I feel bad for the kids that's blowing up at 15, 16 and shit. Because
Because they
they
have
didn't
to
even,
stay that. They can never grow up
what's gonna happen
indirectly.
when they grow up? Motherfuckers gonna be like, damn.
You
Whereas
fell
with
off.
like Duop Kane, he was doing whatever the fuck he wanted. He was dropping hard shit on whatever he wanted to drop it on with whatever type of mixing, and it was hard because that's just him. But now it's like motherfuckers don't even know who they are. So it's like, well,
Sometimes, bro, I feel people should just keep grinding and just trying to find their own way rather than just take the easy route. Because I was thinking about that last time, and like a lot of like plug and be, even hyperpop is really like just a copy and paste of lyric that you could like.
yeah,
Let's say like you go ahead and you take like a fucking yeet type beat.
yeah,
All the shit that you speak about is basically a Yeet song, but it just didn't pick that beat. It's literally like a Yeet song sung by you and wrote by you. I don't know if you get what I mean by that.
exactly. And that's like my point with this shit. Like, I don't want to have motherfuckers copying me, but I
Mm-hmm.
want to have my thing that you can only come to me for. I want to be the source of what it is that I'm expressing and how I'm doing it and the type of beats that I rap on. I want to be a source rather
Mm-hmm.
than be a carbon copy of somebody. That's what I have that a lot of people don't. I'd rather be different on a level of, I hate to say that, like I want to be different because it's not, this is me type shit. But I just want to make whatever I want to make for real. I don't want to abide, or you feel me? I don't want to abide by the laws of who
Yeah,
said I got to make that type of shit. Like just because that's what's blowing up, that don't mean that's what I got to make. That's just what's hot right now, nigga. In 5 years, plug and beat might just boil over. The shit might not be as hot no more. Whereas if you make an original shit gonna be hot forever because that's the original thing that you made.
yeah.
So for motherfuckers like Autumn and Summers and the originators of the shit, it's always gonna be hot for them. They made it. And even if it's not, they still made something. They made history. You feel me? What do you contribute to the underground? What do you contribute to the culture other than being a carbon copy? That's what it be for me. I want to contribute something to the culture as far as being myself. I feel like I owe that to the people to be myself. It wouldn't be cool if I wasn't.
Because that copying anyway, bro. Like I get what you mean by that, bro. But this is like, bro, like I feel like you said, a lot of people is young. So I feel like they just gotta find themselves. Eventually, people will start finding themselves, and a lot of like younger people that's rapping now, we're gonna see in a couple of years, like they might just rap about some old harder shit, you know, because their life change or like they just mature or like think different.
And then it's like the content of their raps. I could tell that they not really doing that shit. You feel me? Because they can't really go into detail like a motherfucker that is.
Yeah, I feel
You
you.
feel me? You can't even really go into real detail because you ain't been through that. Motherfuckers like that shit just getting old now. Like it used to be a little shock value. You feel me? Or like young motherfuckers saying shit that's some real shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like when
Now it's just
everybody,
like
yeah, when
normal.
everybody's saying they slide and they do this and they robbing and they scamming and they shooting, it kind of just make the shit look weak as hell. You feel me? It don't make it look like you hard. It just
Yeah,
make like you look like a young ignorant kid to me. You look like somebody who needs some help.
yeah. Because if we look at the other lyrics from like the same song, it's just gonna be like I said, a copy and paste of the people that's supposed to be on the beat.
Yeah, why would I want to listen to you say this? I could have heard somebody that really do this shit say that shit and go into amazing detail about it. So I'm gonna listen to you rap about what they really live in or rap about what they rap about, and they could do it better.
And yeah, man, like another like of you EP, like you I say hi somehow. I was talking about that to remix Can You Be My Friend from Sosa.
Yeah,
Yeah. You feel like you will like go back on like those type of beats, like Afro dancehall type shit.
I got some unreleased Afro dancehall shit. I really do. I got a couple of shits like that. I got one or two in the vault somewhere. But I just love music. I love the feelings that it brings. And I just like making it. It's art. It's something that you gotta have in your bag. I never go in one specific direction. I want all my projects to be like damn near different. That's just how I'm thinking about it at this moment. It may change over time, but I be liking my shit to just be different in the aspect of I'm not I'm not trapped in that box of you only can rap on this beat or that beat. I don't want to be trapped in that. I don't want motherfuckers to know that. You feel me? I'm versatile. I want to push myself to that limit.
As you say, you stack a lot of songs, but are you able to like spend let's say a week without going to the studio recording or
Yeah.
getting in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I could go a long ass time without making music. It's not that. It's not like one of those things where I gotta be doing the shit every single day. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta live my life. You feel me? My passion is coming back to the mic and talking about my feelings and talking about it.
Yeah.
You feel me? And expressing, painting a picture just for myself. Because really, I listen to all of my music. Like if you go on my likes, you'll see all my music. Like you'll see a lot of other artists,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll see all my shit lined up. Like I really listen to my shit because I can't directly relate to it, and I know exactly what I was going through at that time.
You're able to listen to your music from the past, even though it's like bad memories.
Yeah, like it just take me back to that same place, and now I could look at it retrospectively. Whereas when I was first making this shit, I was living in that moment, and I put it out at that moment. You feel me? So it's like it's nice to see how much I've grown. It's all a part of the whole bigger vision. Feel me?
So, Child of Drama Volume 2. First of all, I fuck with like the cover and shit. Like you had just a drawing of you with the dragons and shit in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some shit I get like on the poster and shit. I fuck with it.
yeah. That's all.
And I was wondering, do you pay a lot of attention on the artistic part of your project? Because I seen all you do, you visual and shit. And like I fuck with the effect. I forgot the guy who shot the video in question. But do you take part of like producing your videos and shit?
Yeah, to an extent. Like I just go to who I know is like-minded,
Mm-hmm.
like me, like who think in the mind of me damn near, like who got the vision that I want. And they
Mm-hmm.
always executed like how I thought it was gonna be executed. Like I don't ever really have to like tell them do this or do that. They just do it by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like just autonomously. Like they just do that shit. So it'd be perfect, it work out perfect. But yeah, I always have like a certain vision for the shit, and I'll be like, yeah, like let's do it like this. Let's shoot it right here. I know you could go crazy with the edits. I like to trust in people and they art type shit. You feel me? All my people I go to for videos, I trust their vision. I don't really super duper take part in it. But the part I do take part in is just the trusting in them, because I feel like that's something that's missing. A lot of people, they be having wants, they be wanting a lot from these video directors, from the people that do art. But I like to let people stray off the path and let them do what they want artistically and execute their vision that they have for me too.
Because that's basically your job to choose who you trust.
Yeah, and it's like it make it a whole organic experience. I like to tell people, do what you think. Do what you think will fit this. Or you feel me? I want to see your vision executed. That's what I like.
And I feel like, as everything you told me, you are really like independent person.
Yeah.
Like you say, you record yourself, you like produce yourself. I feel like if it wasn't from the fact that you need videos and shit, or a lot of little shit on the side, you will be able to like do that shit by yourself.
Yeah.
But are you someone that's preaching like teamwork, or you feel like, nah, I could do everything myself?
Uh it's a little bit of both. Me personally, I like being like alone a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be times where you need a team. You can't do everything by yourself. You literally just can't. But you can control what you can control. And I know I can control I knew from the very beginning that I could control my vision if I learn every aspect of this shit, you feel me? And I can control what I'm putting out. That's always something that I wanted, just when it came to my passion, just control over what exactly it is that I'm making. So I learned how to produce. So if it is something that I want to produce to do
Mm-hmm.
for me, I could tell them exactly what it is,
Mm-hmm.
or I could just do it myself.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, teamwork always. You always gotta have you a team. You can't do this shit by yourself. That's just the fact. With anything, you gonna need a team. You can't do everything by yourself. And at some point, you gonna have to acquire a team,
Yeah.
whether it's through a label, whether it's through whatever it is, you gonna have a team.
Yeah. And not necessarily be a leader in that team, but still.
Just everybody gotta play off of each other and do what they can for each other. That's my meaning of teamwork. Like it don't gotta be it doesn't have to be a hard working thing. No, I don't. It don't have to be a hard working thing. If everybody play off of each other and do their role and do that shit, then shit could work. You feel me?
Yeah.
This shit could be a lot easier if everybody do their part and know their role. So yeah, I'm big on teamwork. But if I gotta get some shit done myself, I will.
And you say you had a team and shit, and you work with certain selective people and shit. But you, if we like really go back to like what you were saying, your mind was really advanced from the people at your school or people that was around you. But like, what's your criteria, or what's some shit that you peep to find like you say, like minded?
Well, it just goes like this. Like I don't have a criteria. Like you don't gotta submit your resume or anything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not nobody. You feel me? But at the end of the day, like if I see something in you and you see something in me and we can help each other, then I work like that. If you got something that you do and I got something that I do, especially, we could work together and we could create something really special. That's how I like to think about things. Like even from down to the art, like for Child of Drama Volume 2, I knew a girl, you feel me? We was really, really good friends and she did art. I'm like, shit, I want to help you showcase your art, you feel me? I know you want to do something with it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay to get a cover art from you and shit, do what you do. I think it should be like this, but I want you to do what you do. I just wanted me right there, just the silhouette, and she went and did the dragon and everything, and I was like, that shit was really important to me. All of the art is important to me. It's art behind every single thing, and the cover art and shit, that's what's gonna catch the people's attention for
Yeah.
whatever reason it may be. So I'm like, that's important. Just in that instance, teamwork. Just me and my boy Isaiah.
Zed Walls. I just be with him and we just work as a team. Everything. If he got to move, if he got to play, then shit, I'm finna do my best to help him make it. If I got to play, he gonna try his best to help me make that play. That's what it's all about. If we can contribute something to each other. Not saying that I only fuck with people that can contribute to me or people that I can contribute to, but it end up working like that because me and the people usually genuinely connect before it's ever any talk about what I'm doing or what they doing. You feel me?
Yeah.
So if we genuinely connect, we can make something happen.
Organic connection over like, cause I even tweeted that shit last time. It's like the best connection, like that you get into your like your workspace, whether it's music, art, or you selling anything, is based around like work. I don't know if that should make sense, but like the best relationship that you have with people is basically based with work and shit. But people like to say when there's money, it's not real. But I feel like if there's work between it, it's gonna start off way more solid because we don't have to be there. I don't know if you get what I mean by that.
We don't have to be there, but we want to be there and we connect on that level. And it's even better if we could connect outside of that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Just organic connections is always important for me because when the connection is organic, none of the shit feels like work. It don't feel like I gotta be here. This is something that I want to do, whether it's anything, like anything. It could be literally anything, like going to a party. If we genuinely connect, we gonna find a way to get to the party. Say we ain't got no car, but we genuinely connect type shit. You feel me? We could sort through our connections and how we could get there. You feel me? We could get, you feel me? I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm trying to make a cool example, but on me, if you genuinely connect with somebody, y'all gonna make some shit work.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be satisfied with it because y'all genuinely connect. At the end of the day, nothing else matter.
Y'all trying to like help each other before like trying to do some other. Bro, I know what you mean by that, but
you know what I mean?
I really don't have an example, but I definitely like you gonna get where you need to be by wanting to help the other person.
Yeah, you gonna get there just based off of y'all genuine connection.
Yeah,
because if something happened for them, it's gonna happen for you too. Because y'all genuinely connect. They gonna say your name in a room of important people because y'all genuinely connected. I don't give a fuck how hard you is at making beats or how good you is at music to whatever standard that there is. I don't think it's a standard. I think of it as art. And I think this music shit could get very abstract. And it's just about what the listener enjoy. Like the listener can have their preference, but for a creator, I don't think it should be a preference. Like there's no standard that you gotta meet. So like with that, it's just like just creating genuine connections. It's gonna always lead you to the right place. If you being fake, is you gonna get fucked over in the end.
But they do got criteria, but it's like criteria to get like a certain result, which is like blowing up or like getting into the industry or getting into there.
And it's like for me, I think that you blow up based off of genuine connection. If people see that you genuinely connect with something, they're gonna be more liable to genuinely connect with it too. You feel me? They gonna connect with the fact that y'all having a genuine connection.
Yeah.
Whether it's y'all, you feel me, through money, through y'all music, through y'all just being with each other and sticking with each other, people gonna notice and they're gonna be like, damn, I wanna be like them because they genuinely connect. That's what everybody want in life, damn near. Like just a genuine connection. All this shit's so fake nowadays, you feel me?
The human need to like connect with people. I think that's like one of like our basic need. I think on pyramid and shit. I forgot like which number is that, but like the human need to connect with someone else. Like we are made basically to connect.
Exactly. You just gotta find who you connect with. Just like the listener gonna find the artist that they connect with. I think that my shit could be taken in a cool direction just because I'm somebody that people could connect with. I ain't saying too wild shit. I go through a couple of wild things. You feel me? I've done a couple wild things, and that's cool to look at to some people. But at the end of the day, they connecting it with it because it's a genuine experience. That's what I'm making it based off of, just genuine experiences.
Yeah. Just someone telling a story and shit.
Yeah. Everybody got a story. Everybody can relate to having a story, whether it's I was born rich and this is my life. Everybody has a story. So if you're telling a story, somebody gonna connect with it.
Because it can relate to some shit that you said.
Yeah. Just that fact alone, just related to having a story. Motherfucker be like, damn, he really got a story. He really got some shit to say that connect with a lot of people. That's what a lot of people have told me. Seems like you have something to say.
And from all the project that you did, I know there's probably gonna be many more after that, but what is like one of the project that you felt like, because like I said, like it's kind of like checkpoint in your life. Every time you drop, you look back and be like, damn, like I'm new, I'm a newer person than from the last project or from the songs
Yeah.
before and shit. But what do you feel like is the project where like it was the biggest shift in your life, basically?
The biggest shift in my life
Yeah.
was the advent. It's the advent for sure. That's when I just went in a totally different direction because my hunger for growth and my hunger for
Success.
knowledge and not even success, because in my mind, the concept of that was thrown away because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, I succeeded already. I do got people listening to this shit religiously, whether it's only 100 people, 200 people, whether it's a million people. This
Mm-hmm.
is what I wanted, people to just listen and people to be able to connect with it in a certain way. That was my beginning objective, just to blow up before high school. And even though it came after, I did kind of like branch out and blow up to an extent, you feel me, to the extent that I wanted to where I had people that was checking for me, whether
Mm-hmm.
it was one or two people. I fulfilled that dream at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I kind of left that behind, the idea of wanting to blow. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of knew that was something that was going to come with it over time. People is going to gravitate towards it and they're going to listen to it and do what they do with it. But I really was focused on the music and making a breakthrough musically and making a breakthrough. Just let's see what I can do. I wanted to see
Yeah.
what me and Kelly could do. And Kelly was a big part of that. Somebody that I genuinely connected with through the music, and just personally, we thought about music the same in my eyes. And he had the same vision. And we wanted to execute our vision together. And I feel like that was a big turning point for me because it introduced me to who I was and my sound. And it was different. It was just a pivot. It was a complete 360 from what I was doing before. I never heard nothing like it, and I love that about it.
Do you listen to other genre to like keep your head away from like all the shit that you already listen?
Yeah, I got my artists that I just enjoy hip hop wise, but I listen to a lot of different music. Like I'm just a student at the end of the day, seeking more knowledge. So if it's something that I can't do, I study it real, real hard until I can, or until like I feel like I got an understanding of it. So yeah, I always just tell the genres. At that time in my life, Kelly was asking me to listen to what is it? It's the album with the pyramid on it. I forgot who it's by though. It's not Guns N' Roses. It's by fuck. It's like rock. It's like rock and roll a little bit, but it's not like heavy metal. It's Pink Floyd. It was
Pink
Pink
Floyd,
Floyd.
yeah, yeah,
He was
with
telling me,
the
listen.
rainbow.
Yeah, he was telling me, listen to this album. Like, that's the idea I got for the album. And if you listen, it don't sound nothing like a Pink Floyd album, but that's where the inspiration was from. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But just in my own way, because I wanted to, it was structured like almost like a Pink Floyd album, like that same album. And whereas it got transitions and shit, but I really, that was a time in my life where I was trying to find the spark again.
Mm-hmm.
And when I have like a blockage, or like I'm trying to find the spark, trying to find what's exciting about this shit, that's just the world reminding me that it's time to grind, you feel me? And it's time to push them boundaries. I don't see it as, oh, I got a blockage, I can't do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it as like an opportunity to break down a wall and grow again.
Yeah. Kind of get to my last question. Like you was talking about like your fan base or like people that support you for a long time. How do
Yeah.
you feel like you build that? Because you say like you do music that people are able to relate to, but is there a way where like an artist could like build a cult following or like just having people fuck with this music?
Well, in my opinion, I think that you build a cult following doing what it is that you do and being true to yourself instead of trying to figure out a way to blow up. Just really focusing on the music and doubling down on the artistic aspect of it. That's something that a lot of people be missing. They be more focused on trying to blow up and not trying to make the music. That's when I started getting more of praise, more people coming and listening when I just focused and doubled down on the music because people could feel that off of you if you just trying to blow up, if you just dropping shit and you trying to blow up. That's something that people could feel, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. You feel me? And nobody gonna be, you want people to be able to feel your music rather than just hear it. I don't want to be heard, I want to be felt. That's what I discovered type of shit. And it's like at one point I wanted to be heard and I wanted to be felt. Then I just wanted to do my music, you feel me? And people could feel the emotion, you could feel the conviction. That's something that you just can't copy. What if somebody has actually been through, you could tell if somebody been through some shit. You feel me? And it don't have to just be you got a sad tone. It could be the total opposite. But when people could tell that what you saying is rooted from something in an event that took place in your life, that's something that you can't copy. That's why some shit prevails, some shit don't. Some shit might be good just sonically, you feel me? Like it's supposed to sound good because it's mixed well and you saying all of the things that everybody that's popping is saying. But at the end of the day, there's no conviction in it. Feel me? There's no emotion, no real emotion attached to what you're saying, and that could be felt for real.
Yeah, man. This why it's important to not lie in the rap, basically.
I mean, it's not even about not lying, it's just about being who you are. It's just about being who you are. Even if you're gonna, I guess, cap it a little bit, at least be who you are. I don't know. I don't know what's up with these niggas. I can't find it in myself to just outright lie about some shit that I didn't do or say some shit that I don't mean. Like if I say some shit, probably in that moment, I really felt that. I really did mean that shit. And that's, you feel me? I'm a human at the end of the day. That's what I want to show people, that it's okay to be human. It's okay to contradict yourself. We all do it. Nobody is perfect. Like at the end of the day, everybody got their sequence of events that they've been through, and like nobody's perfect. I feel like that's what's wrong with the industry. Nobody can make a mistake. I want to show people you can make mistakes. You could fuck up.
You can do mistake, but it's like it's gotta be like a cool mistake. Like you gotta find a way to like make that shit cool for the people. Like
And
even
it's
if it's
like,
some shit that affect you for real.
yeah, I feel like you just gotta not even make it cool, just stay true to yourself at all times. Like just at least take accountability when you do fuck up in a genuine way. If you don't feel like you wrong and you willing to die on the hill that you standing on,
Hmm.
that's okay too. You feel me? If you say some fucked up shit that was out of pocket, but you willing to die on that hill, that's better than apologizing and being fake. You feel me? Trying to take fake accountability for what you did. It's okay not to understand. It's okay to make mistakes. You feel me? Genuinely, that's the most genuine thing.
Yeah, because we all human. Nobody's perfect, man.
Yeah, I don't want to give my fans in the future the idea that I'm just perfect. That would have something to do with them. Like if they think I'm perfect, then that's just what they think. But nobody's perfect. That's what you gotta find the art in. It's a lot of art and imperfection. That's why, yeah, like I like to make my mixes a certain way.
Hmm.
But all my music, I record all my music. It's the raw thing. That's what I like the most about music. I like when music is raw
Hmm.
in the sense that you take somebody like Kodak Black.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? Motherfuckers fuck with him.
not because his shit sounds good sonically, like not because his shit sound good.
He's gonna tell you how it is
You feel
directly.
me? And not because it's mixed well. He could rap on the beat and the shit not be mixed, and it'd be the hardest shit ever. A lot of Kodak shit is like that. It's just raw. I fuck with that. That's the type of artist that I fuck with. I don't care about mixing. I don't care about none of that. If you saying what you saying and I could feel what you saying, I fuck with that.
It's like you spend all day, you don't have no money, but you spend all day listening to music about someone that's richer than you. Like
Yeah.
at the end, I feel like that shit just gonna play in your head. Like personally, I don't do it, not because it's playing in my head, because I just don't end up listening to that. But I feel like a lot of people, if they actually took time to listen to some other shit, it could basically change their life. But that's a whole like another topic.
A whole different conversation
Yeah,
type
man.
shit, huh?
Do you have like a milestone in this music shit that you want to say to your supporters so they can keep supporting till you reach out to that milestone? Because you said you gonna have a mixtape, a project that's gonna be called The Money. But let's say when The Money release, where do you feel like you gonna be like in your career?
When that shit release, it's gonna be later in my career for real. Probably I don't know if I'm making my first studio album or if I'm making my last studio album. You feel me? It's just like it depends on where I'm at in my head. And I'm hoping that like I don't God forbid, I hope I don't pass away before then type shit. But when it happens, it's either gonna be my first studio album or my last studio album. That's how I want it to play out. I want this shit to just be artistically a masterpiece from beginning to end. And I want it to be a story of me type shit. And like I don't know where that plays in at yet. I'll know when the time come, like you feel me for sure. When it come and I feel like it's time to drop that shit. I am. It's gonna come when it's time. I don't have like a set time. Maybe my first studio album, maybe my second. It just depends on the way things play out from here because things is getting real crazy. Which I speak to you about it like after we done recording, but things is getting crazy and I don't know where this shit gonna take me for real. So if I don't know, I don't know when the money drops, I'm gonna be stamped in this shit already. I'm not worried about how well it'll do, how it will sell. I know I made history. I know I made you feel me? I know I made a statement with this shit because I didn't do this shit the way that was laid out for me by the other people. I didn't do this shit the way other people was doing it. You feel me? I did it the way that I wanted to do it. So that's just what I'm trying to leave behind. I want to show people that it's not a certain way that you have to do this shit. It's not certain things that have to happen to you or things that you got to go through to get to this point. You got your own individual story. Here's mine. Tell yours type shit. You feel me? Or even, you feel me? You don't even have to do that. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Just do exactly what you want to do. That's what I want to show people. But my shit damn near commentary on life. I don't know. So it's just, it depends. I want people to just listen, keep listening, stick around, see what's next. Cause I'm gonna keep on evolving with my music. I don't know. I might fuck around. I might turn 25. I might start doing R&B and shit. That's just how I am. I'm just spontaneous. Like it just depends on what I want.
But that's good. I mean, you versatile.
Yeah. I want my shit to evolve with me, and music is not my end all be all. Like at the end of the day, I want to get into film and stuff. I want to be able to just master all types of arts and communicate to people and communicate my a certain type of feeling to myself.
Hmm.
Just with everything, I want to be a master of the arts.
A lot of artists, they tell me that like they start by doing music, but they want to get into filming, like you said. They want to take picture, do art.
And I want to be real behind the scenes. Like I want to really create. That's what I'm here to do. I think I really want to create shit. Whether it's fashion. I'm gonna dive into fashion soon when
Hmm.
I get the time and the money and shit. But I want to be something in not every culture, but I just want to
do something in every aspect of art. Because I think it's an art behind. If it's something with an art behind it, damn near I want to try it.
There's a question here that I asked to everybody on here, but I feel like you've pretty much answered that in like many, many, many different ways. So, but like, if we could get really like, what is your main principle? Something that you will tell to your kids, or like basically something that you stand on.
My main principle is just shit. Do what you do. You feel me? But just do it to the fullest. Do that shit to the fullest, bro. Put both of your feet in. If you're really passionate about something, put both of your feet in it and lock in. You feel me? That's my main thing. If you say you're gonna do something, then do it. Like me, I know myself, I'm gonna lock in. If I say I want to record 10 songs tonight, I'm gonna lock in. I'll make sure I do it. Feel me? Just execute your vision, whatever it is. If you want to make a bracelet, if you want to make some jewelry, if you want to make speakers, really dive into that shit, both feet, head first, and just do it. Really do it. Don't fake the funk. If you want to do something, you gotta do that shit.
Yeah, man. Not just with the music, not just with the heart.
Yeah, like just even like relationships, like if you want to be with somebody, really jump in that shit with both feet, you feel me? Jump head first. If you wanna if you wanna be something in life, jump in that shit head first. If you wanna whatever you wanna do, just do that shit to the fullest and really if it's your passion, if you passionate about something, really take your time and do that shit and enjoy the journey. Cause shit changes.
Real shit, man.
That's my number one principle. Just be who you are. You feel me? It's a lot of art and individuality, and just be accepting of anything. Just try to really that's something I tell my kids. Just be accepting to whatever is at hand.
Cause you can change life. Life gonna stay the same and shit. So just accept
Yeah.
shit for all it is and keep working.
You feel me? I'm gonna keep it real with my kids. I keep it real with anybody. Like I'll tell you what it is if you really want to hear it. Type shit. I'm not about to keep it fake with you. I ain't gonna not keep it 100 with you. How would I like? What type of nigga would I be if I wasn't keeping it real? Like, don't live inside your head. Just do that shit. Just do it. Like Nike said. Like I hate to just be cliche, but yeah, you gotta just do it. You can't wait. You can't waste no time with it. If you say you want to do something, if you say you want to fucking be a scientist, start experimenting there. And then you feel me? You say you want to do music, start playing some instruments, then dive in it, really study that shit. You feel me? Every aspect of it, just try to master it.
And like, first of all, we appreciate you, for pulling up and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you just for having me.
Right, all love, man. It was a good ass discussion. But do you have any last word for the people that's watching, supporter and shit? What can they expect? Why do they need to tune in into your music? Anything, any last word, basically.
Yeah, just get ready for what's about to come. I got a lot of great shit coming with a lot of great people. Not even as far as features, but just I'm gonna come into the game and I'm gonna take it over type shit. There's really nothing else that I can say. You just gotta prepare for it, and I want to just have people with me on my journey, and it'll be nice and exciting to watch. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on what I got planned. I got a lot of good shit planned for everybody, for myself, to show the people. Just tune in, you feel me? Just for no reason, if you want to, type shit. But it's gonna get that time when everybody watching. I want people to just want to do it themselves. I'm not really urging motherfuckers to come this way. What I got going on is what I got going on. I love everybody that do show up for me, and I really appreciate the real genuine support. If you genuinely connect with me through whatever, if you connected with anything I said in my interview, if you connected with me just right now, you feel me, in the small clip that I know bro gonna post. Just tap in with me, you feel me? I'ma always try to respond as fast as possible. And yeah, I got a lot of great music coming. I got a lot of great things production wise just coming. And it's up to you. If you want to see, I ain't gonna tell you exactly what it is. If y'all niggas want to see, shit, come through. You feel me? Tap in on my Instagram, my YouTube. You can see the little word I got that I'm building over here. I want to help people, and I want to just keep making good music. That's all I want to do. Just make my music and help people and get paid. I'm sure a lot of people want to do the same thing. You feel me? So I'm here. I fully support that. If it's something that you want to do, I fully support it. I'm here. I'm for the people.
Hell yeah, man. Listen, bro, we had Sama that world is mine, man. Family, man. That shit happened, man. It was a great discussion. We appreciate you, pulling up here. And yeah, man, all is link in the description. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with him. I feel like this is the type of interview, like, even people that don't even like know about your music won't be able to like listen to and like understand shit
Yeah.
about life and shit like that. So I fuck with it. So yeah, man, all the links in the description. Samad in the building, man. We was on Will This Mind. It's your boy Dark, man. And I'm fucking out, man. Let's get it.